Hi guys, welcome to Pivot and Profit with Priscilla. Today we're going to have some fun with finance. Finance was not my favorite subject in college, however, I do love to talk money. So today my guest is Meaghan Wall, the hot girl CFO. Hi Meaghan.
Hi Priscilla, it's so great to be here.
Thank you for being here. Can you tell the audience a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, so I'm Meaghan. I'm from Birmingham, Alabama. I've been in finance for over 15 years. Started out literally when I was 19, decided to switch from a biology degree to an accounting degree when I failed more chemistry than I wanted to. And then, yeah, just been a bookkeeper ever since and have taken quite a windy path to get here.
Got it. Biology.
Yeah.
Wow.
I
That's a
wanted
big
to be
difference.
like, well, first I wanted to be Indiana Jones, but then I wanted to be like CSI, like on the
Oh
crime
yeah.
scene investigator, like with the swabs and everything like that.
Yes.
So,
So fun. Well, I've looked at your page and you do not give accountant energy. So, can you tell the people how you got into what made you want to launch Hot Girl CFO?
okay, so yeah, this is a crazy story. This is actually my second business. So I started my other business as a bookkeeping and CFO firm, but had a really bad breakup with a client, ended up having several $1,000s worth of unpaid invoices. She locked me out of QuickBooks. Like it was a
Oh
whole
my gosh.
deal. And I swore off bookkeeping from there. I
Yeah.
was like, I will no longer be responsible for anyone
Yeah.
else's business.
Yeah.
So let me just be a business coach and a money coach. And I got rid of all of my bookkeeping clients within like 2 weeks, referred them out, and was a business coach and money coach for like 4 or 5 years after that.
Hmm.
And slowly started introducing that bookkeeping back into my life by like freelancing for other accounting professionals and trying to see like, did I even want to start doing this again? And then I had just randomly snagged the Hot Girl CFO from Instagram because I thought it was cute and funny and didn't know at all what I was going to do with it. And then decided, no, we're going to make this a whole full-fledged business. So,
Yeah.
and
It's
that was in September of last year.
very on trend. It's
Yeah.
very catchy. So I really like it. Your brand is really inclusive. It's really
Thank
different
you.
and modern. So any personal things or professional things that make you want to be just inclusive in your branding and just in your clientele?
Yeah, so I work with all kinds of online businesses, modern businesses, badass entrepreneurs doing badass
Yeah.
things. Just like I've got several different coaches. I've got yoga teachers, I've got marketing agencies, I've got one woman is creating an STI testing company to make STI testing and lots of like birth control and other things a lot of
Got it.
much more accessible. And it's just really, really cool. The types of people that are attracted to the modern aspect of my
Yeah.
brand. And yeah, being inclusive of everyone that the men who get it, they get it,
Yeah. Yeah.
So if they don't mind having a bookkeeper called the Hot Girl CFO,
Yeah.
then like we'll get along. But
It's very refreshing because a lot of times when reaching out to accountants, they're really like stuffy and they just deal with big business. And to
yeah,
have someone that the modern world is changing, it's not just corporate businesses. Small business owners are starting from Instagram and social media, and they have podcasts like I do, and they're earning money on social media platforms, but don't realize that they still need
yeah.
finance coaching.
Yeah. Well, and I have to remind myself that like their online business is still so new, even in
Yes.
2025, and most businesses are not online,
Yeah.
which means most accountants have never worked with online businesses. So, and even like making a small percentage of your money online is like crazy wild to a lot of
Yeah.
accountants.
Yeah.
They think that they're influencers. They don't understand how they make money. Like I've got a really good copywriter friend who said that her first accountant thought that she was an influencer. When copywriting's been around since before the internet, literally since like there were advertisements, ever. And her accountant just didn't get how she makes money, and so she had to switch and to
Got
find
it.
a much more modern accounting firm.
Got it. So, can you tell the viewers what a fractional CFO is? How does that different from a regular accountant or bookkeeper?
Yep. So you may have heard of a CFO for like huge corporations. You know, Amazon has a CFO. Everybody, you know, the big corporations have a CFO. And those CFOs work only for that company. So as a fractional CFO, I work for many companies and I can do um hybrid versions of what a CFO might do at like a smaller scale. And I usually work with high 6-figure into the 7-figure businesses.
Okay.
So that's really my specialty, that revenue range right there.
Okay. So it's like I'm a small business, but I have my own CFO and my CFO is Meaghan Wall.
Exactly.
Okay, got it. So I love a good DIY. I think I'm Wonder Woman a lot of times and I can do everything on my own. So I've had a bookkeeper before and I was like, okay, they're just, categorizing my spending. I can do that until I don't do it the whole year.
Right.
And the end of the year comes and I have to sit down for hours and categorize my spending.
Like it's the final project of senior year.
Yes.
And you're like, let me just get this done.
Cramming. I've been procrastinating. So at what point does a small business owner like myself realize I need help? I need somebody to do my bookkeeping. I need somebody to help set my business up or prepare me for tax time.
Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of and I would say up until the $300,000 mark in revenue, you are fine with a normal bookkeeper who's just going to be doing the categorization, the the organization of things that have already happened, then looking backwards. And you should be able to make educated decisions in your business based on that information to a certain extent, to a certain revenue point. And then once you start thinking about, okay, how do all my numbers go into how I need to plan my next quarter's launches, my next half's offers? Like, how am I going to hire my next employee or team member?
Yeah.
How am I going to like ramp up ad spend and my ROI and like start understanding how all the numbers intertwine and talk to each other? That's when I would recommend bringing in a strategic bookkeeper, and that's what I am. So that's where we are, yes, categorizing and looking at the before, what's already happened, but also we're taking that information and saying, okay, what does that mean for me in the next quarter, half of the year, so I can meet my goals?
So, okay, let's get into the weeds of things a little bit. Commingling funds is a very scary word to me. Because I only hear that term when somebody's going to jail.
Yep.
However, I there were times where I'm like, am I commingling my funds? Like, how am I supposed to keep this separate? What shouldn't I be buying? How do you speak to someone, a small service business that says, hey, I used my card to buy lunch the other day. Should I not be doing that? How do you help us understand what is commingling funds and what we should and should not do in order to avoid prison time?
Yeah. So it's very, in my eyes, it's very simple. Yes, you should not be commingling funds. And that's like per the IRS. Okay. Like they're like, you should not be commingling funds. And if you have an LLC, that legal formation actually breaks down and there is no protection from that LLC if you are commingling funds. Because then if something happens, if a client sues you for some reason and you're trying to prove that all of these are proper business expenses and you have several personal, the court's going to say, I have no, like, I can't trust anything you said. How am I supposed to know that this was for business and not for personal? Now, it's not quite that serious. If you spend, if you get lunch randomly every few months on the card, nothing bad's going to happen. They're not going to knock down your door and take you to jail. Now, like, I like to talk to my clients, like, as your bestie, like, you can spend a few things here and there, and I'll just categorize it to shareholders' distributions or owner's draw. And we're fine. As long as we're not trying to deduct things that are personal, as long as there is a category for like, this was owner's draw, and we are consistently and dedicatedly moving all of those transactions over to that category. there shouldn't be a problem.
Okay. So, and I think there's a lot of chatter about get an LLC, write everything off. So you're saying like, yes, you have an LLC, but there's ways where that LLC can be broken down and all the protections can be removed.
Yeah.
So by commingling funds, you can lose
Mhm.
that protective status.
Yes. And I will say that like you do not have to have an LLC to have a business.
Got it.
What it's called is being a sole proprietor. And even if you have an LLC, you're still taxed as a sole proprietor. An LLC is a legal formation.
Mhm.
It has nothing to do with the IRS, has nothing to do with your like taxes.
Okay.
It's just strictly legality so that if you get sued, your business has a house and your personal has a house, and they can't touch anything in your business house.
Got it. So tell us, give me the top 3 mistakes that you've seen small business owners like myself make when it comes to finance.
I will say, especially online business owners, and I see it especially in like the coaching industry and like these industries that people just blow up overnight. It's like a year,
Yeah.
18 months, and all of a sudden they're making several $100,000 a
Yeah.
year and they have no idea what to do with it all. They're spending like crazy on their own coaches, on advertising, on all of these types of things, which is fine. But I would say like the clients that come to me and are like, I just hit 100,000 this year.
Yeah.
I need to like preemptively get organized.
Mhm.
Those are the people who always make it longer than the people who are not. They don't have that first thought be, how do I get my money right?
Got it.
And I think it is an emotional intelligence, maturity kind of thing.
Yeah.
Um, and there are a lot of young people making money online, like crazy money online, and that's not their first thought. So that would be the first thing I would say is like waiting too long to get your money organized and seeking out support. The second thing I would say is not paying yourself at all as an entrepreneur. So there's a lot of let me fall on my cross and be a martyr. All of my money, all of my business money gets
Dedicate my
reinvested.
life to my business.
Yes. I will not take a single dollar
Yes.
from this business. It all goes back into reinvesting. And I admire you for that. But your business is there to support you. And when there's a reciprocal relationship
Yes.
between back and forth between you and your business, and I'm sorry, I'm not trying to say you.
No,
I'm
I
saying
get it.
in general, but yes.
That was me. That was definitely me.
I don't know your life,
No.
but yeah, so really early on with my clients, I set up Profit First with them, and we get them started. We start getting them paid at least 5% of whatever they make,
Got it.
because I like it's just important. Like, why not? Like,
Yeah.
why would you not?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
what are you building a business for? And I know like the only way that we can affect change in the world is by more money in the hands of women.
Agreed.
So.
Agreed. One more. That was 2.
Oh, okay. The third thing would probably be, I think commingling funds is a really big. I've got a huge client. They make probably close to 800,000 a year, and they commingle everything. And she's an accounting firm, at a bookkeeping and accounting firm. Okay, and I do the books for their business, for their company, and I love her to death. And she knows exactly what she's doing. But every time we have our meeting, she's like, Meaghan, I know. And I'm like, as long as you know you're taking responsibility for it, like
Yeah.
yeah. So, and there's just like a lot of that, it muddies the waters. There's no way to
Yeah.
get a clear idea of what's going on in the business finances if you're using it willy-nilly for literally everything.
Got it. Got it. So 1, preparation over procrastination. 2, pay yourself. And 3, no commingling funds.
Yeah.
Got it.
It's not cute. It's not cute.
Got it. Do you have any stories that you can tell me about your experience in finance?
Yeah. So one of the big things that really sticks out to me is I did have a client a couple years ago come to me, and she had 4 years of undone bookkeeping. Like there's a bunch of times where clients will come to me and they'll have several years of unfiled taxes.
Got it.
And we do the whole thing at a project. We we get it done really quickly, hopefully in time to file taxes, but it's not always the case because a lot of people come late. They know they don't file their extensions, that kind of thing.
Got it.
And then we're doing October 1st
Yeah.
when the extension deadline is the 15th, and like, it's a mess. So, but this client specifically, she had 4 years of unfiled taxes. We had to clean up and organize all of the bookkeeping in one go.
Wow.
And then, and let me tell you, thousands of transactions. Thousands of transactions. It's often more expensive to get the cleanup done than it is to
Yeah.
have the bookkeeper throughout the year.
Yeah.
Especially if you can get a good and affordable, like reasonably priced bookkeeper. So oftentimes we'll have thousands of transactions to
Yeah.
get through in one go. And not only that, it'll be the accountant, the CPA who I've got to send the bookkeeping
Yeah.
to, the reports to, they have their own wait list as well. So once we get to the point of like, okay, we've done the bookkeeping, then they have to actually file the taxes, which it's funny because people think that tax season is once a year,
Yeah.
but really it's like all year round,
Yeah.
pretty much, except for a little bit between like October and the March deadline.
Yeah.
So like there's a few months there in the winter months that we do get a little bit of a break, but other than that, it's like pretty much there's a deadline every couple months.
Got it. Got it. Speaking of taxes, I know you don't do taxes, but I've had a couple of tax situations where my taxes weren't filed by my tax preparer. I've ended up owing money because documentation wasn't filed properly. And again, for a small business owner like myself, what do you do? What does your company do to help us be prepared and set ourselves up for tax season? So when we send those things to our tax preparer, they're in order, they're timely, everything's set up so they don't miss anything.
Yeah. So a lot of times when you're sending your reports, when you're sending your bank statements, the things you want to write off to a tax preparer, they're going to take it at face value. They're
Yeah.
going to do the bare minimum to
Mhm.
get you exactly the deductions they can see. They're not going to do any sort of digging. They're not going to go above and beyond to be like, "Oh, hey, did you send me your home office deductions?
Yeah.
Did you send me your kids, W-2 from whatever?" So like there's a lot of things that I take into consideration,
Okay.
like mileage, like vehicle deductions, home office deductions, multiple different credit cards and bank accounts. And like I'm doing it all and putting it all together
Wow.
so that the tax preparer has the full picture and they know exactly what to deduct. And we're taking into consider cell phone
That's awesome.
expenses
Yeah.
and stuff like that. Like little things and especially even payment processing fees. A lot of times, if you don't get your books properly or expertly done, entrepreneurs, if they're doing DIY, they are just accepting whatever comes into their bank account, into their QuickBooks, and like, that's the revenue,
Yeah.
right? But you're missing the payment processing fees, the Stripe fees, which is going to be, so you're not recording the top line revenue of like, okay, so I made 1250, but what actually came into my bank was 1235 less the fees,
Yes.
right? So you're
Yes.
missing the deduction of the fees. You're also not getting the full clear picture of like what your revenue actually was.
Hmm.
You're only seeing that gross number after the payment processing fees.
Got it. That's very helpful because I have 4 kids and they help us out. I have a service-based business. So
Yeah.
sometimes they have to go with us to do pickups and things like that. It wasn't until they've turned 18. They just turned 18. And it wasn't until this year that I realized I could get a deduction for paying my kids. So like
Yep.
I missed all of that. And my tax preparer said nothing about it.
Nothing. Yeah.
So working with you and your company, I could have caught a lot of those things
Absolutely.
prior to. And then once I sent them over to my tax preparer, they're just,
Yeah, they're just going line by line. I'm sending them the profit and loss, the balance sheet, anything extra that they need.
yeah.
And they're going, literally revenue is revenue and expenses are expenses. They go line by line. And that's all they need is just what I send them. It's like 3 reports and then they're done. they're not going to go above and beyond. The bookkeepers are what's going to give you those extra little teeny tiny deductions
Yeah.
and going to help you pay less in taxes.
So we're hearing conversations about billionaires not paying taxes and they have zero in taxes, and I get a $30,000 tax bill. It's not the tax preparer I should be talking to. It's the bookkeeper I didn't hire.
Yeah. And also the billionaires who don't have any taxes, they have a full team. They have the CFO,
Got
they
it.
have the bookkeeper, and they have the tax preparer. And most of the time they all work together. And that's something else that I see a lot of entrepreneurs missing out on is a coherent, cohesive team of
Yes.
people that speak to each other. I am a bookkeeper. I'm also a fractional CFO, and I work very closely with my tax counterparts so that it is a seamless communication process. My clients a lot of times don't even see that communication. I am handling a lot of the partnership there so that it feels like a cohesive team that is under one roof.
That's great. I think oftentimes as entrepreneurs, we hear that we need to hire a team and we think, I got to put an ad on Indeed for an accountant. I have to put an ad on Indeed for a bookkeeper. And it just feels stressful, especially when you're in a business or service business where you already have to hire employees.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, this is one more employee I have to manage. But to know that I can come to a company like yours and you can be my CFO, you can be my accounting department in a sense, that's helpful.
Yeah. And oftentimes it's a lot less expensive than you think it is.
Got it.
Because I have plenty of bookkeeper friends. Like my network and I are referring each other like crazy to each other. Like if I'm not right for you, if I'm too expensive for you, if you don't exactly jive with me, I have 10 other people that I can refer you to that I've vetted, I know are excellent, and they're going to be just as amazing for you as I would be.
Got it.
The standard that I hold myself to.
Okay. I noticed that your approach to finance is referred to as anti-capitalist. This country is touted as a capitalistic society. And as entrepreneurs, that's our focus. Like, we have to make money. We're in the land of the free and we're capitalists. What does that mean for you, anti-capitalist?
Yeah, anti-capitalist to me is we rebel against all of the capitalistic expectations while also prioritizing getting paid. So there's a little bit of like, we're going to make hella money as well as we're going to know our numbers. We're going to know we're being sold to. We're going to know what we're buying.
Yeah.
We're going to be informed and empowered with our buying decisions and with our money decisions so that we are not under the capitalist thumb and just buying because we saw a random ad for something and it got us. The advertising is so subliminal. It's so subconscious, psychological. So I really teach my clients, we're in the numbers. They know exactly what they're spending. They don't get caught up in advertising or the psychology of it all, sales. And if they do, they know, like they're aware of it. They're like, I know that ad was so good that I'm like gonna buy, but I know that I'm gonna buy because I want that thing and I'm actively choosing it, not because I'm subconsciously choosing it.
Yeah. Or I don't even realize what I'm buying and I buy into something that I didn't really want in the first place.
Right. So using the capitalist, rules to our advantage.
Got it. Financial equity. What does that mean for you?
Financial equity can mean a lot of different things, but to me, it has a lot to do with what you own in your business, what part of your business you actually own. There was a long time in my business where my equity was negative. More money has gone into my business than has come out of it.
Yeah.
So as the more you are able to take and buy assets in your business, the higher your equity is going to be. So equity is assets minus liabilities. So the higher your liabilities are, the more credit card debt, the more loans you have, all of those, the more owner's draw you're taking on your business, that's going to reduce that equity.
So in our personal lives, we understand that we should have a savings. and it should be, I believe it's like 6 months worth of your bills. Is that something you incorporate in your business? And how much should you set aside? How much should your business, how much equity or cash should your business have on hand?
Yeah. I mean, that's very unique to each business, but I will, yes, we do incorporate that same principle into the business. And I use the system profit first. A lot of people have very strong opinions about they either love it or they hate it, or they use some hybrid of it. But I find that it works best, especially if I'm the one managing it for my businesses or for my clients. And the number in the savings account is usually about 6 months. I would say like 4 to 6 months worth of expenses. We also have multiple different business savings accounts for the different goals that my clients have. Like my clients have team cushions that they have savings accounts for that may have only, 20,000 in them.
Yeah.
But have, 2 or 3 months worth of team expenses in them. And that's all that's in them. It's just for team expenses in case anything happens. And we work up to that and then we cut it off. I never really liked the word sinking funds. It never, it doesn't, my brain doesn't like it. But it's like a sinking fund where you set a goal and then once the goal is met, like you don't contribute anymore to that amount. It's like you've hit the goal or whatever. So, so we have the team cushions. We also have the owner's pay cushion.
Got it.
In case we need to, unless we're like not going to be able to make the owner's payroll this month, that we can pull from the cushion.
Okay. So really quick, I want to do a couple rapid fire questions with you.
Okay.
Just like 1 or 2 word answers to help the viewers get to know you.
Okay.
So really quick, I'm going to fire some questions at you and you could just give me 1 or 2 words. Okay. You ready?
I'm ready.
Your hot girl mantra.
Finances for the girls.
Coffee or tea? Neither.
No. Coke, caffeine-free Coke.
Oh, favorite book?
Oh, Court of Thorns and Roses. Thorns and Roses, yeah.
First job?
I worked for my dad at his manufacturing firm as his bookkeeper when I was 19.
Wow.
I was like...
That was early.
I know. I was like, you let me do that? I had a great mentor. She would never have let me mess it up, but yes.
Hidden talent?
Oh, I'm really good at writing threads for people. I've literally been hired to write people's threads for them, even though I'm not a social media manager. I'm not good at social media.
That's cool.
I'm really good at threads for some reason.
Morning person or night owl?
Morning person for sure. I'm in bed by 9 o'clock.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Favorite city?
Oh, the Dolomites up in Italy in the mountains. Mm-hmm.
Your best advice in 1 word?
Pleasure. I'll say that.
Current song on repeat?
Oh, Man Child by Sabrina Carpenter.
Got it. And what's your biggest motivator?
My husband. Yeah.
Great. I want to thank you so much for coming. I hope you had a good time. I did, and I learned a lot.
Yeah, happy to come on again. If you ever want me again, that'd be so fun.
For sure. We'll always have money questions around here.
Yeah, I mean, drop in the comments. Bring Meaghan back.
Yes.
Bring Meaghan back.
Definitely. Can you tell the viewers how they can get in contact you and how they can sign up for your services if they like to?
Yes, so I am at the Hot Girl CFO on Instagram, Threads. That's where I usually hang out. My website is thehotgirlcfo.com. And you can DM me. My DMs are open. You can submit an inquiry form on the website. I've got all of my services on there. My favorite offering right now is my CFO snack. So if you're not quite ready for a full-time CFO or like a commitment for the whole year, we can do a CFO snack where we spend a whole week in your business revamping the whole thing and really making it organized. We're getting all the money tasks off of your plate. You know, the money tasks they pile up. There's a list a mile long. So that is something that we can do once or twice a year and set you up for the next 6 months, and then you won't need me again.
I definitely saw that on your website, and I was going to sign up.
Okay,
I thought that was a great, just try out.
Yeah.
And not just try out for your business, but just to see how it works and understand.
Exactly.
So I think that's a great offering.
It's a teaser. I mean, it's all about getting you to come back for more.
I get it. I want to thank you guys for tuning in. You can follow me on all socials at Priscilla Grant and like, subscribe, and to our YouTube channel. Thank you guys.